What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a trilogy, and that being my pops. Shout out to my grandmother and my mother for helping raise me too. Please follow at Emax Stats for all your up-to-date high school, collegiate, and professional sports coverage. We'll not disappoint. We'll keep you up to date on the latest and all that's going on in the beautiful sports world. And what is a podcast without your brethren?
Hey man, shine on his old charismatic hood excellence. Voice a little under the weather, but nevertheless flying in a feather or a propeller in any weather. That's Big Brother Iron Man on the weekends, man. Bet that segment coming back to you very soon. Instagram, Cash App, y'all know it. Let's go.
Yo, it is the host with the most that blows the most smoke, Black Peace, the rap plug, the hip hop plug. You already know. Be sure to go check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast from. That's where you can find me at, man. Be sure to check me out also on Instagram, Facebook, social media. Let's get it.
Good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people. I am the one and only Sedacious Xavier Miles, and on behalf of me and my brothers, we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and listening. You can go find us on Instagram. You can go find us on Twitter. You can go find us on TikTok. And we really appreciate it. We really love you for it. Take it away, bro.
Yes, indeed. Please feed the needy. All four of us out from that H-time. And the person we're getting ready to talk about to kick off the podcast is also a H-Town, Houston, Texas native, that being Brittany Griner. She has been just recently, over this past weekend, it was put out into the news that she has been in custody with the Russian customs. She's known for playing basketball overseas in Russia during the WNBA offseason, so it's no surprise as to why is she in Russia right now. We do know you have Russia invading Ukraine, so it's probably not the best time for anybody born on American soil to be across the country in Russia. But again, she's in custody with the Russian customs. She's going through the airport. They stop her, search her bags. They find vape cartridges, hookah or weed paraphernalia, whatever you want to describe it as. They find that in her bag, detaining her for that. And again, this was released this past weekend, but she's been in custody for like the past 3 weeks or so. So she was taken into custody before Russia invaded Ukraine, and this happened sometime back in February. So that's what's going on with Brittany Griner right now. Sean Izzo, what do you make of that?
What a time, man. What a time to be alive. Or should I say, what a time to, peel off to a foreign country to run that sack up because the WNBA don't pay you well enough so you can, sufficiently stay here and not have to look for other avenues. But I think that's another topic all in itself. But I feel like the need for the financial gain portion of it is interesting because quite literally, if the WNBA, paid their players, substantially enough, this wouldn't happen. But, one could argue, well, hey, they're just not that good. It's not that interesting. They don't drive market dollars up and people don't want to see that. Well, debatable, extremely debatable. But, it's a sad day, man. Unfortunately, I feel like Brittany Griner has found herself between, a rock and a hard place because what better gift could Putin have gotten, than a well-renowned athlete from the U.S., on a pretty serious charge over there that they can literally take as political hostage. So I'm pretty sure Putin is gonna, he already has his poker face on. He's ready to play chess. He does have a pretty good piece in his possession, and hopefully hopefully she can kind of get back on to U.S. soil and we can, get her extradited over here. But it's just a crazy, unfortunate situation, man, to say the least. Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping that we can do everything that we can to get her home. I'm over the fact that she did what she did to get there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I feel like some type of way America should make it to negotiate to where they can have her serve her sentencing or whatever it is on U.S. soil as opposed to, her staying in Russia. But, you never know how that'll go. My brother seems to believe that Putin is going to take this and use it in some type of political warfare way. I can certainly understand that. I just would rather see her be at home because when I think of the situation, the only thing I think about is she got to be locked up with people she can't even talk to. You know what I mean? And it's bad enough being locked up as it is in that whole situation and being in a whole nother country. You're like thousands of miles away from your mom and you can't even talk to anybody. Like you don't even relate to anybody to be able to kind of vent and get your feelings off. So I don't necessarily think about her situation as opposed to thinking about her mental. And with me caring more about her mental as a person, I just hope that they find some type of way to get her home as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, talking about the political warfare that's going on right now and the U.S. cutting off some of its transactional funds to Russia, you would hate to see it get to a point to where, we do enter a war and she's still over there and she has to feel the brunt of that, of the U.S. going to war, right? Being in this foreign land and torture, whatever the case might be. But if she is convicted and she has to spend that time over in Russia, what she's being charged with currently, the drug charge of, again, the vape cartridges, she could possibly have to serve 5 to 10 years under their law and jurisdiction of that crime. So definitely hope Brittany Griner makes it back to American soil extremely, extremely soon. Yeah, man. Keeping it in H-Town, Sedacious got to go see Ja Morant this past Sunday out in Houston. Memphis Grizzlies versus the Rockets. We won that game, held it down for the city. But Sedacious, you ran into a very well-known, respectable man out here in the world. Who is that? Who was that man for the people that don't know?
Man, I ran into Eric Thomas, also known as E.T. the hip hop preacher, the one and only, the man himself. And it was an humbling experience to say the least. But I also want to talk about, I really want to use this story as a way to encourage, if I can. Sunday morning, Saturday night, well, let's start with Saturday night. Saturday night, I was living in my flesh. And, Saturday nights can, sometimes carry over to Sunday mornings. So I'm on someone's couch with Saturday night's clothes on, and church started 20 minutes ago. And so now you got that thing in your head of, do I go, do I don't go? I ain't got no clothes, I got to get back home, all this stuff. So I just decided, you know what, forget it. I don't care about what I got on, just get into the building. And so I got into the building and I was subconscious about what I had on. And I normally go out and sit in the sanctuary, but I decided to sit into the conference room and watch Pastor preach from the conference room. So, I stayed in church, listened to the word, but right after church, immediately I went and sat in my grandfather's truck because I didn't really want people to see me. I was embarrassed. I had on sweatpants and stuff like that. But, more importantly, I needed to get in the building. It wasn't about how I looked and people's perceptions, okay? But still, I was a little embarrassed because I like to be presentable. I got in the truck and I left and I went home. This morning, I'm not thinking that I'm not going to talk to my dad. I'm not even thinking that he's going to invite me to the Rockets game. So that's one thing that happened. My dad called me out the blue. He was like, hey, I need you to do something for me. I'll call you back and let you know. So I'm like, cool. He called me back the next 2 minutes. Yeah, I need you to go to this Rockets game with me. And I'm like, that's what you need me to do for you? Yeah, And he's like, okay, cool. So he comes to pick me up. We're supposed to be at the game by 5. And so he decides he wants to take me to this new food market downtown called The Post. Y'all should check it out whenever y'all downtown. And so we go to The Post, and The Post, they have this big woman extraction, a big black woman extraction. So me and my dad decided to check it out. And who we run into Eric Thomas, you know what I mean? And the guy is so cool that I'm looking at him and I'm starstruck. And he's like, how you doing, man? Eric Thomas. I'm like, bro, I know exactly who you are. He's like, yeah, but I still got to introduce myself. I was like, "You're right. I'm Sedacious Miles. I'm tripping. I'm the one right here starstruck." And it was like a really cool vibe. He got me and my dad. He gave me and my dad both pictures, and we didn't really want to hassle him like that, so we didn't really get into too much conversation. You can kind of see it was that kind of vibe, like, you know, I'm with my people right now. You kind of caught me off guard, you know what I mean? So me and my dad didn't want to be too belligerent. You know, shook his hand, said, love your work, nice to meet you. And we did. You know, we didn't want to hassle him. But moral of the story is, man, sometimes you're not gonna feel like it. And when you do it past that, not feeling like it, the Lord is gonna bless you in tremendous ways. I did not wake up expecting to, one, go to a Rockets game, to two, meet Eric Thomas, and three, we sat like literally 9 rows away from the floor. So, and it was a great experience all the way around, and I'll never forget it.
That's hard. This was up.
You didn't bring up the podcast?
Nah, hell no. No, sir.
You'll see us at the top. You'll see us at the top eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good, man.
I said I didn't think about it. It's just the vibe, the vibe. I want to be the person rapping in front of the rapper while he's trying to get his shop on. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
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 Nah, man. We still working. We still working anyhow, man. So it's all good, man. Salute to ET and his whole camp, man. CJ, Carl, Jamal, his whole camp. So Sedacious, I don't know if this past Sunday when you was at the Rockets game, you decided whether or not you wanted to bet on the game, but somebody who possibly did bet on the game this past weekend, even since football season is out, is possibly Calvin Ridley. So, so yeah, man. If you don't know on the latest, Calvin Ridley, NFL wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, he is suspended for the entirety of next football season, the 2022 football season, because doing an investigation, the NFL found out that he was betting on NFL games this past season. That is an absolute no-no across the board in every way you can think of, not even just for him or NFL players, but for all professional athletes. So a couple quick notes in terms of his betting. He made parlay bets. He made them during the month of November. And he also made bets on the Falcons to win with whatever those parlay bets were. And the year suspension is just the minimum. That's just the minimum. He could potentially get more depending on if the investigation continues. So yeah. Calvin Ridley says, hey, I only bet a minimum or a max of $1,500. I don't have a gambling problem. He could possibly appeal if he felt like it, but that would be of no good, because he also commented on Twitter, hey, it is what it is. All I got was a year. I'll be back. No big deal. And so that was kind of the sentiment that he gave off. And so he's going to be suspended for a year. The Falcons don't have to pay him. And that $1,500 that he spent betting on whatever games has now cost him $11 million for this upcoming season. Darnell, what are your thoughts about Calvin Ridley?
This is bad business, man. And I feel like, just like with any issue that the NFL tries to stop you from doing, they try to stop you for the longevity of it, because that also can be an addiction. Not only is it, you can sway your team of winning or losing and just mess up the progress of the game, but it also, you can develop an addiction. Next thing you know, you're dead broke. You're a millionaire that went broke. There was a video circulating with Calvin Ridley kind of throwing some plays, wide open plays. This is a couple of years ago, and it's like, it makes you think, like, okay, these plays, I look at the time, I look at who they're playing, the way they're designed, I'm just like, what would make you just stop the play? There's nothing about how would you say it? There's nothing about the plays that they showed in the little clip about him slowing down and just stopping short of touchdowns and and stopping short of first downs, it was like nothing about it was saying, okay, you need to. It wasn't a time situation. There wasn't seem to be a scoring situation. Like everything about it was just like, okay, something's fishy. So I sent in circulation earlier to Edward, and he kind of said, timing and everything. But I'm like, bro, gambling is an addiction. Not saying that everybody that bets on something has an addiction, but it's like there is a capability that, hey man, even the way he glowed about it, he said that I only got 1 year. To me, that sounds like, bro, I've been doing this. They only gave me 1 year. Well, I'll make off that 1 year for how long I've been doing it.
I ain't gonna lie. F12. That's how I feel. Go ahead.
To quote him accurately real quick. I know I was wrong, but I'm getting a year. LOL.
Gang.
Exactly. He literally says, I know I was wrong. So I mean, I'm not here to judge his if he has an addiction or anything personal necessarily. I will definitely say that I feel like it went longer than what they have investigated to be. I feel like it went longer, me personally. I feel like he had a chance to be a better player than what he is, and yeah, things got the best of him. I feel like I think he actually has an issue, but I'm not too worried about it. Like, you're a grown man, make your decisions. You want to bet on the game, bet on the game. But yeah, I feel like this is something that ain't brand new.
I say F12. I'm sorry. I will preface my statements with that because clearly the NFL is 12, and you finesse them any way you can because they're gonna get their money regardless, and you got to get yours. It's kind of the same way I feel like I could kind of put this in relation to Brittany Griner too, bro. We are natural born hustlers who, if you make us hustle too hard, will finesse you. That's just what we do. And so you get this guy, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Calvin Ridley because you got caught. And you know what I mean? And so when you get caught and you in jail, it's just like, damn, they caught you? Man, you was getting them? Man, and they got you? Damn. It's like that to me. It's like, yo, the NFL, they went into Vegas for a reason. They went to Vegas for more money. Okay, I'm a young black man. All y'all care about is me going to make these plays. Y'all don't really care about my life. Y'all don't really care about my finances. So I'm going to get it every which way, all money in. I said this before the podcast. I understand it's all money in, but, all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? And so he was trying to get that not so good money and end up really fumbling this real bad. Now, that's the part that I don't agree with. You know what I mean? That's when you tell the young buck in jail, hey, yo, bro, you really messed up. You're real bad. You know what I'm saying? It's the time where you let him know. But honestly, I get where he coming from. You know what I'm saying? I just as that, with that finessing mentality, that hustle mentality, to get it every which way I can. Yeah, there's an integrity aspect that takes a hit, but at that point, you're thinking it's Calvin Ridley versus the Falcons organization. And so, hey, I mean, I'm not going to be mad at Calvin Ridley because he ain't got the same amount of integrity as I got and go and get that money. So it just is what it is.
My only thing with what you...
What I was about to say was like, man, like, how can a team trust you now?
Yeah, no, that's the thing, because you mess up, your future endeavors, of course. But like I said, I can't take away from the fact that I understand that thought process.
I hear what you're saying, Sedation. Like, I ain't gonna be mad at you for trying to get a bag, but if you said you only spent a total of $1,500 on whatever parlay bets, right? Like, what amount of money of the bag are you actually like trying to get to that's like substantially way more than you getting from your game checks? Granted, I don't know if he got kids. I don't know if he got debts he got to pay. I know just because you're in the league, that don't mean your money is always good. Who knows? He say he don't have a gambling problem. Maybe he was actually trying to place bets because he was trying to finesse some, or he was down bad to a degree. Darnell?
Better yet, thank you, because I was about to slip it. Better yet, NFL, man, is it's not the most safest sport to do. So at the end of the day, I feel like if he was having a goal, and hopefully if he did have a goal, it may have been to be like, let me retire early. You know, even though he said may have said 1,500, I think it's more. Me personally, of course, you ain't gonna snitch on yourself. So yeah, I've been 50,000 a game. Like, you know, he gonna go with the lowest amount they're gonna be able to give him. So I feel like he may have been looking at it from the perspective of I'm a receiver, I'm an up-and-coming receiver, just in case things get cut short. You know, OBJ gets hurt every other season. So what am I? How am I not able to not get hurt in my career? So I'm trying to get ahead. So I mean, that may be the perspective he was doing it from. You know, like how dangerous the NFL is, concussions. You know, receivers get knocked out and get, you know, stuck like that. So I mean, there's that play in it.
I mean, because I just.
No, you got it, bro. I don't see I said you got it. Then I started talking.
Go ahead.
I don't see what investment. Maybe this was a long time. Maybe he may just be doing it off hobby. Or if this was a long-term play to be like, I'm trying to set myself up for the future. I'm just like, that don't, to me, the money and like, it don't add up there. I just don't feel like that's a way to like go about trying to like put yourself up for like wealth and financial freedom. That's just my personal opinion.
It's not, bro.
It's also too.
It's just another $5 that you get every month. That's all it was, to keep getting that $5 every month. That to me, you know what I mean? If you have 7 to 8 streams of income, and one of them is getting consistently having that $5 a month, along with the number one, which is the NFL contract, and you're doing it within, like you said, like it's a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that's your play money, by all means, do your thug.
And also, they gonna let him sit at home for a whole year and bet more. Like, what's stopping him from betting while he's at home? He has time to do with train and bet on games now.
Well, the way he got caught is he was betting on an app or whatever from his phone, and I'm assuming you gotta put your information in there. This app or whatever that he was betting through on his phone, there's a third party from that app that has a relationship with the NFL. And because they have a relationship with the NFL, hey, y'all know our players or whatever system is implemented, whatever XYZ names come across the board, y'all need to let us know. Calvin Ridley name comes across that database, they investigate it, and that's how he got caught. Like Darnell was saying, this may not be his first time, probably just the first time he got caught. Other notes from this situation that are important. When he was betting on these games, and some of those parlay bets were for the Falcons to win, he was not a part of the team. He had took a leave of absence for mental health issues, and during that course of period of time is when his bets were placed. With his bets, the NFL said through their investigation, none of the Falcons, no one from the Falcons organization knew about Calvin Ridley's bets. None of the games that he bet on appeared to be manipulated or tampered with in any way for a particular outcome. And so yeah. So just want to, provide full and proper context around this whole situation.
You know, it's funny to me. If he left the team, it was like, them niggas gonna lose.
And they also said he had no inside information that he was using on these bets.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel like he knew that. Like I said, I think he's been doing this for a while, and then they start cracking down on it. People start noticing. People start noticing. I think he did this for me. They told him, "Hey, man, they may be on your ass." So sorry. So they may be on you. So therefore, he's the people that told him, "Hey, man, you may want to step up on it." He said, "You know what? I'm gonna take a mental leave." Now, I'm not saying that's why he did it, but that muddies the waters for his mental health leave. He could have very well been leaving for his mental health, but due to the fact of the gambling situation, it made him to where it's muddy waters now, to where it's like, how do you know if it actually was for his mental health? Like, was it for him to like put himself out of a more incriminating situation? Because if you get caught in the games, you're probably gonna get expelled from the NFL. I would see why they wouldn't, because they're gonna feel like, okay, now these games that you were in, not only did you bet on them, but you definitely tampered with your play, and you possibly could have talked to another teammate. So like I said, I think he played it smart. Like I said, I think he's kind of gloating to a certain extent. I wish the best for the man, but I think he's kind of incriminating himself to a certain extent with the only got 1 year and, you know, kind of just smiling about it. I think he should have been humble, should have said nothing and just chill.
Yeah. He's out 11 million for next year. He will not be paid as he is suspended for the entirety of the season next year and possibly another season, depending on how the investigation continues to go.
Like you're gonna be checking out a lot of bet that then.
True.
Man, sad to hear about Calvin, man. Sad to hear.
Yeah, man.
Get it to himself.
So Westbrook, for those who may or may not know, Russell Westbrook wife, recently she had came out, she was talking about Skip Bayless and how he's always like taking shots at her husband, Russell Westbrook. You know, the whole Westbrook, and Skip, I believe, has went as far to like block her and all that kind of stuff. Then the Lakers, they played San Antonio Spurs last night, post-game conference. Interviewer asks like, hey man, you know, what's going on with your wife? You know, do you care to speak to that? And Westbrook basically just comes out and says like, hey, with all of the backlash and like defamation of my name and, you know, basically essentially like the heckling and calling him out of his name, Westbrook, and others, not just that, but other stuff that may not, you know, we may not hear about all the time when he's on the court. That is become to be a severe problem in his family, to the point where he doesn't want to, or he even feels safe to bring his family to games. And it was also said that his wife was receiving death threats via social media. And so, yeah, he said he doesn't want to bring his family to the games just because he don't want them to be subject to what he's getting on the court, for someone to turn around and possibly be directing their energy towards his family. Westbrook said in the past, he kind of took it on the chin. It is what it is. It comes with the territory of his, you know, of his profession. But Westbrook basically said that for him, it became to be a problem when him and his wife went to the parent-teacher conference of one of his son's school, and the teacher was just like, "Hey, your son Noah, he really loves his last name. He writes it everywhere. He always is saying, I'm a Westbrook, I'm a Westbrook, I'm a Westbrook." And so for Russell Westbrook, that triggered him to be like, all right, like I can't allow my son to grow up and like have the world like tarnishing like our name, our legacy. Like I can no longer allow that in any shape or form. And so from that, Westbrook kind of just like, I want to say just like voiced that vulnerability of how he's like felt about people disrespecting him and, you know, just dragging his name through the mud, so to speak. And he said he's not going to stand for it anymore, and he's going to continue to like nip it in the bud when he feel like somebody's like disrespecting his name. How do y'all feel about this situation?
I think we live in a trash can society, man. Excuse my language. We've come to the place.
You cutting yourself off, son. You good.
We've come to the place to where it's cool to let our cojones hang on the internet, where we wouldn't 1,000% do the same things or comment the same things in person. And I get it, you know. Russell Westbrook has never been known for a shot, right? Westbrook, I get it. Skip Bayless is kind of, his claim to fame has been sadly talking down on Black athletes, to be quite honest with you. Whether it be, you know, his proverbial LeBron James obsession, which I think is literally an obsession, but as of late, he's kind of come around and turned the corner on it. But you know, when you get to threatening people's family and doing this and that, as long as it's basketball, I didn't really have a problem with it, because I was gonna be like, hey man, you know, it's kind of really up to you. You know, if you get out the shooting slump, you know, you won't be called that. But you know, making threats on people's family, kids, and that's just, way over the line and is way out of bounds. And I think some of those, if she wanted to, I mean, she could go to the police if she feels threatened enough, right? Like you threatening harm on my life and my family's life. If I perceive it to be a valid enough threat, I mean, I support her, pressing charges. But it's just come to a point, man. The internet is just sadly the internet is a billion and oh, and I don't think it's gonna change. But people just gotta mind their manners, man, and really pipe down, bro, and really look at life for what it is. They're in a very advantageous place within their life because of a game, and you are commenting on the advantageous place that they are in due to the internet and the accessibility thereof. It's not the same, man. Go and leave that alone. But people are stupid these days, man, unfortunately, and I hate they gotta suffer through that. But Westbrook, play better, brother, and you won't get nearly as much heckling. But I do I do empathize with them in regards to the threats because that's never okay. But Westbrook, I'm completely okay with. I think Skip Bayless was being, how do I say this politically correct? He was being a female dog, blocking Westbrook's wife. Because it's like, man, if you got balls enough to say that on the internet at that, man, let us see it. Don't hide. Don't let us see it from retweets from other accounts or whatever the case may be. Don't throw rocks and hide your hand. Stand on the business if that's how you really feel. So, it's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel on that as far as a media stance goes. But let's not allow Skip Bayless to be a scapegoat for people who are just ishy people. I don't want to curse. I don't want to say the other word. People who are not good people. You know what I mean? There's no good reason, no good excuse, I'm saying, to send death threats other than the fact that you're really insecure about your life and you're not happy and you're mad that this young black man gets to make millions of dollars and feed his family off of basketball. And if he can't win you games or cover your bets, you take that out on his family. That's just ugly. That's just all it is. And I have nothing else to say. Now, as far as media goes, Skip Bayless is doing his job. To me, you know what I'm saying? His job is to put out the best media. Westbrook's job is to take that media, understand how everybody perceives him, and then prove them wrong. So, hey, all's fair in love, all's fair in sports and media when it comes to that.
All I'm saying is just don't block him. Just stand there. You was a man enough to type it. Stand in front of the flame when it come back to you.
Tell you, the internet is a very interesting place. It's the same place where cancel culture exists and also where bullying exists, which I find very funny, and they're both pretty dramatic. But basically, it's the same situation. It's a little bit of cyberbullying, a little bit of it's something that honestly should be initiated into cancel culture, but that's the way the internet works. The internet doesn't work the way the real world works. So, but anyways, man, when it comes to sports or anything of that nature, when it's on the court, when it's court related, when it's talking about your actual skills and that and this and that, I'm all for the heckling. I'm down for it. I encourage it. It makes it that much more, exciting. But as far when it gets personal about your family and, people, just to kind of switch into football just a little bit, people showing up at your house like they did Matt Schaub. It's like, come on, guys, I get the passion for the game, but we got to keep it, where it is. That's that man's profession. It has nothing to do with, their family. Skip, you out of line for that. You blocking them for something that literally has nothing to do with your paycheck is a bit out of line. So yeah, man, the internet is a very interesting place. And just like my comrades have said, they can only do it on the internet rather than in your face. You're not gonna ignore somebody that important and have a relationship with, and you're not gonna ignore them just the way you block them on the internet. It's not gonna happen. If he would have walked past his wife in person, he's not gonna curve her and ignore her. He's gonna speak to her like a man, or attempt to. So internet's a funny place.
I say I don't think Westbrook is sensitive. I think he could take the heat and the heckling, but I think as a man, it takes it very serious on like making sure that your family have peace. When you disturb a man's like wife's or his family's peace, like then it's like, all right, like I can't just like sit back and say nothing, right? To a degree, because you gotta like, you have to stand up for yours. But I
I
just
have a I have a story. Just real quick. Back when I was working my job back when I was like 23, 24, I was not doing the best job, right? So I would get heckled at work. I can take that. Do better. You're going too slow. I can take that. This ain't the best quality you're doing. I can take that. But when you come in, one of my coworkers ended up coming to my house and started heckling me about it in front of my family. That's when the line was crossed. That's when things got a little bit heated and words were exchanged. Nothing got physical, of course, but I had to kick that person out of my house. But it's the same rules apply. It's like when it's your actual job and someone gives you somewhat of a hard time, it's like that's on you personally to decide if you want to how you want to take it. You can be extra emotional about it, or you can take it as criticism. But when it gets to that point where it's this is my place of peace, that's when it gets personal. So yeah.
Question, caveat. Did Westbrook make the top 75?
I believe he did.
Did he? No, he didn't. Can we look that up, please? I'm sorry, my soul just because Damian Lillard making it and not Russ is insane to me.
Not to Edward.
Oh, boy, don't even get me started on that. If Russell Westbrook decided to hang his shoes up today, his career was way better than Damian Lillard's.
By accolades, yeah.
What else would it be by?
By
Like,
skill?
I mean, you could argue. I mean, it's not even an argument. Damian Lillard is a better shooter of the basketball than Russell Westbrook. Everybody knows that.
No, he's a better player in its entirety.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Okay,
Prime
so
Westbrook.
so
Prime
you
Westbrook.
so if you want to start, if you have to start your team, you got to choose Westbrook or Dame. You're gonna choose Westbrook. You're not arguing.
That's not the same. That's not the same. It's not the same.
How's it not?
Just because in a vacuum, I think somebody may be a bit more skilled. The skill set in which I'm looking for on how I would like to build my team, I would probably lean more towards Damian Lillard. But hold on. But in a vacuum, when you compare the player to player up until now, Russell Westbrook, MVPs, Damian Lillard, 0. Russell Westbrook, All NBA, more than Damian Lillard. Russell Westbrook, more All-Star appearances than Damian Lillard. And he has a triple-double crown. And he led the league. And he averaged a triple-double for 3 years? That will never get done again.
You're right. That will never happen again. Right. And why did Westbrook average that triple-double?
Because his team was shit. And KD left and that burnt the fire in which we come to know and love about him, right? That fire, that tenacity. KD left, no problem. I got it. I carry us. I get us there. That's exactly why he did it.
Right. And so he did all of this by himself. And then when he had had a nice team and parts put around him. And you know what? He actually had to go up against Damian Lillard, right? He actually had to do that.
Yep.
And he was a top seed. And he was up 2-1 or 3-1. It wasn't 3-1 because the game didn't go 7. It didn't go 7 series. But when Damian Lillard had to go toe to toe with this guy that you say is a far better player than him,
I didn't say far better. Lillard is more skilled.
What happened when they had to go toe to toe? What happened?
I mean, Damian sent them home, bro. But it's a team effort, bro. Like I'll come back there and say this. So, because Damian Lillard sent Russell Westbrook home in the playoffs, makes Damian Lillard a better player than Russell Westbrook? Is that like your notioning by it?
I'm saying if Westbrook had the better team, they will seed it higher. He is a triple crown guy. He's actually defending Damian Lillard. I'm saying if he's a better player if he's just in a vacuum, a better player than Damian Lillard, and he's up against Damian Lillard in these playoffs, and he has help in an all-star, and that being Paul George also aside him. Damian Lillard had no all-stars on his team going up against Westbrook. If that's the case, why does Westbrook not finish the job against a Damian Lillard who he is superior better than?
I say this. I think Damian Lillard is more skilled than Westbrook. But in regards to accolades, accomplishments, and just stature overall, in regards to career, one could argue, bro. It's not even an argument. Russell Westbrook has had a significantly better career than Damian Lillard. Is Damian Lillard more skilled than Russell Westbrook? I give you that. You got it. Hands down, you got it. Is he more accomplished? Is he greater than Westbrook? No.
I would say, your opinion, that's fair. I would say he is a greater basketball player than Westbrook. Does Damian Lillard have an MVP? No. Does Damian Lillard have a triple crown of a triple-double? No. That speaks high volumes to how great of a basketball player Westbrook is. I'm not saying he's not a great basketball player. Greater basketball player than Damian Lillard? I emphatically disagree, in my opinion. Damian Lillard, I won't use the whole market. I won't use the whole market thing because one could say OKC is a far smaller market than a Portland. But Westbrook has that narrative going for him. Damian Lillard is boring to a degree. He just gets his job done and goes home. Westbrook has that narrative of like everybody was rooting for him finally because KD left. But if he's such a great player, right? If he's such a great player, why does Kevin Durant not win with him? Why does Kevin Durant say, I want to leave? I can't.
Well, Kevin Durant ain't won with the Nets. He ain't won with nobody except the Warriors. So the verdict is still out on Kevin Durant, you ask me. On if he can get the job done with niggas not named Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
What does that mean?
I know. Oh. I know he gets infatuated. I know, but I'm just saying though, like I'm just looking at it from the lens of okay.
All right, Isaac. Okay, so you tell me this, all right? Okay. You got Kobe. who do you think is better, Kobe or Bron?
Yeah,
all right, forget Kobe. Who is better to you? Can I say Kobe or Jordan? I mean, LeBron or Jordan?
Ooh, we talking about more accomplished or like better? Who we starting the team with? I'm starting the team with LeBron.
All right, so if we arguing more accomplished, I have no dog in the fight against.
Okay, I will. But that's why I'm hanging.
But if you're using the accomplishments to say he's better than Dame, I reject that.
I mean, shit, one can argue you in the same league as Russell Westbrook. Why aren't you making a push for MVP if you're that good? If you that cold?
He's been in the MVP race the past 2-3 years. He didn't get it.
These past 2-3, probably maybe back in like 2019 on down, okay. But before Harden got robbed 2 of those years.
All right, I'll say the NBA bubble and back. The NBA bubble and back before the pandemic.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is, if you're solely saying Westbrook is better than Dame, but solely based off his accolades, I can't rock with that. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you
you he's more skilled, I gave you that. So I mean, I think we saying the same thing. Dame is more skilled than Westbrook. Westbrook is more accomplished than Dame by far.
Fair. I won't argue that.
And has made it farther. At least he touched the finals.
With who though? With who though? With who though? With who though?
Don't matter.
With who though?
Okay, well, if he is that good, if Kevin Durant is that good, bro, why can't you finish job.
A showdown.
Why?
What they say? Say that again, Isaac.
I said if Kevin
Podcast just
Durant is
got
that fucking good.
hijacked.
Yeah, no, I did, but I don't know. But if Kevin Durant is that good, bro, why can't he finish the job?
I mean, that was their first time getting there. They were still young. That's not an excuse. If y'all, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate for what y'all said. They were young. They were all young. If Westbrook really that great, why hadn't he got back there?
Hey, man, I ain't saying that nigga great enough.
Ain't he playing with LeBron now?
Hey, big guy. Sun's getting real low.
Russ.
Hey, big guy, sun's getting real low.
Hey, man. So I don't. Oh, this is what I was gonna say about Westbrook because Darnell interrupted me and we went down to like the Damian Lillard train. But what I like I was saying, you gotta like step up for your family, hands down, regardless of whatever the situation is. What I hate about this situation for Westbrook is I don't think anything is going to change. And furthermore, I think the Westbrooks are going to become louder and much louder throughout the course of his career, unless he ramps it up again and turns into the triple-double god.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think those crowds are going to care less about what he talking about him and his family going through. And as soon as he touched the ball, Westbrook, you know what I'm saying? I understand like Marlo, The Wire. My name is my name, but I wish he could have finessed that a different way because the opposing fans are 1,010% are going to use that against him for the remainder of the season, especially if they make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, once they find out you sensitive, boy, it's over.
Right. And so yeah, man. That's
or
what
if you
I
like KD and just don't give a fuck and be like, you know who I am? They go drop 50. And you shut people up. And people don't say shit. People don't call KD Cupcake no more.
Winning cures all. That's what I would say about Westbrook. Winning cures all. So yeah, man. 10 years. I want to say 10 years on the nose, or at least 10 years plus. Russell Wilson traded from the Seattle Seahawks, now with the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos offensive weapons: Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Javonte Williams, Tim Patrick. Russell Wilson going from the NFC West, and now he's in the AFC West. What do y'all make of the Russell Wilson trade?
Is Melvin Ingram is not on that team? I mean, I'm not tripping. Am I tripping?
No, didn't he go to the Chiefs, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm tripping. No, I think they're going to be a good team. They in a pretty all right division. I think Russell Wilson can get to this division and take over it. Besides Justin Herbert, right?
Justin Herbert,
Jared Goff,
Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying Matthew Mahomes.
I feel like this is gonna
Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and Derek Carr in that division.
I feel like he has a very good chance of winning. I feel like anybody that plays in Denver always has a niche. Of course, that mile high plays an effect. But when you have a mobile quarterback like Russell Wilson, who's going to be able to kind of shake up the defense, those secondaries, and the linebackers have kind of winded, it's going to look kind of scary. So, I like it. I like the move. Anybody that goes to Denver, you're an elite player. You go to Denver, bro, it's not looking good for your opposition. That's just how I feel about it always. That's, ask Melo, ask Jokic, Elway got a ring. I mean, they're already great. It just makes it that more into their favor. So we got that.
Yeah. Me personally, I just feel like Russell Wilson is a type of quarterback. You know what I mean? Like Patrick Mahomes is a hybrid. Then Aaron Rodgers is a type of quarterback, and Russell Wilson is a different type of quarterback. They either fall in between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson to me. And I feel like Drew Lock was one of those way watered down Russell Wilsons. And so they were like, what better? Teddy Bridgewater. And what better than to actually get Russell Wilson to get the mobileness and to get the accuracy?
For the trade, you got Denver Broncos. They get Russell Wilson and a 4th round draft pick, and the Seattle Seahawks get Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, defensive lineman Shelby Harris. They get 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and a 5th round pick for Russell Wilson. So yeah,
Cashing in the Super Bowl player right there. It's cashing in right there. So I mean, like I said, it's about to get real rocky. I hate to be corny about it, but it's about to get real rocky.
And Russell got sorry, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say this more so explains why Von Miller put on his story why he did. Bronco Nation, what number y'all want me to wear when I come back? I'm like, damn, you just won. Dang, my brother, you just won a championship. Were you ready to leave? He knew something we didn't, even a couple days before. So I'm like, he knows something. I'm like, he must know that they got better coming. I'm like, okay. Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, Russell Wilson in that offense. I like it.
And that was a power move.
Only thing is, you went a wild. Hey, welcome to the AFC, brother. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun game. Nah, for real. It's about to be crazy in the AFC if it already wasn't. I mean, you got my homie. I mean, you got the Bill Belichick-led Patriots in the AFC. I mean, you got Cleveland ain't going anywhere. You got Ravens ain't going anywhere. Cleveland, not because of Baker, but because of the defense and the way they're structured and how they run the ball. No, I'm not a believer in Baker Mayfield. All I'm saying is,
hey, yo, shout out to Denver. Oh, that's Springfield. My bad.
But nah, man, AFC just got that much more chaotic, and I believe Broncos are in the same division as the Chiefs.
Yeah. Chiefs,
Justin
Chargers,
Herbert,
Ravens.
Patrick, Russell. Who else is in that division?
Derek Carr.
Derek. Man, boy, it's gonna be some good football. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Good football season ahead of us. Somebody had said, I seen somebody tweeted something along the lines of really got the Broncos going to the Super Bowl.
Broncos shout out for them being a great organization, man. Like for real. They let Vaughn go get a championship. Probably gonna offer him back to come back with this new wave, get paid in the championship. I mean, get Oswald a hell of a deal to mess over the Texans. I mean, honestly, they're a heck of the organization. Like, honestly, I want to get signed by them. They're going to do you right.
Vaughn, we ain't this year. Go to LA, smoke you some weed, get you a championship, and come back over. We got some of the works. You sure? Promise.
Hey,
all right, cool.
Calvin really put that 1,500 on the Denver Broncos to win today. Who cares about it?
Yeah, man. Other headlines in the offseason of the NFL: A-Rod resigns and the Packers plan to franchise tag Devontae Adams.
I believe that's something off the works of off the Seahawks move, to be honest. Inside intel.
No. Well, I mean, I didn't know what you meant by that. I apologize. I don't disagree with what you said. But the way I'm thinking about it, bro, is for Russell Wilson because here's the thing. Everybody was asking Russell Wilson, bro, is there issues with you and the Seahawks? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? You did this, they did this. What's happening? Is there tension? And Russell was like, no, you know what I mean? No, we good. You know what I'm saying? I love Seahawk Nation. I love being here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's happening.
Hawks. You always say go Hawks.
You know what I'm saying? I was like real professional, like not kissing and telling. Like, if there is an issue with my relationship, you media niggas will never know it. You know what I mean? Like real professional, like a real N-word. Let me say that. Aaron Rodgers, like a real N-word would do. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron Rodgers, bro, you on every media outlet for 2 years about how you ain't feeling respected by your organization and you feeling this way and that way, like you acting like a real girl, and then they make you the highest paid.
Acting like a real Mickey asshole right now.
They make you the highest paid person ever, and we're just supposed to forget that you was just like a woman and went on the tour about how you don't like your organization and this, and that, and third. And it's some things that needs to change. And come on, bro, like you did all of that prima donna stuff just to take the money and stay for 4 extra years, blood.
4 years, $200 million contract, 153 guaranteed.
Hey man, well, I guess whining and complaining will get you paid.
Right.
One could argue that they should have been did this before they drafted Jordan Love, because they was almost trying to say like, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, like you don't run nothing over here, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like we gonna handle this, big dog. You just slang that iron around, man. That's all you do." And Aaron like, kind of carry this. And I've been doing it for the past decade. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put your feet to the fire. You're gonna pay me this money. You're gonna franchise Devontae. And when we pick in the first round this year, go get a receiver. I'm done. All right, we got it. 200, Devontae, receiver, we got you. And look at it now. And I bet any type of money they go and receive a first round. Or they gave him all that money to be like, you know what, Aaron, just go shut up. We gave you money. Now don't complain if we go defense again in the first round, like we've been doing the last 12 years.
I mean,
aside of Jordan Love.
I think at this point, bro, Aaron Rodgers don't have nothing to complain about, bro. Like, I don't care what he got going on.
I ain't complaining about nothing. You give me
like,
200.
You chose to stay. You got 153 guaranteed. You chose to stay. So whatever inefficiencies they have, or if they flip the script on you and do something else,
you gonna have to play through it, bro.
You know what? It wasn't even about that. It was about the competition that he had to go up against. It's non-existent anymore. Matt Stafford got a championship, so he's a little more laid back, in my opinion. He may chill back and may go. I don't think he's gonna be as good as he was this past year for the next year. Also, you got Russell was out of the NFC.
Push him off his heel, bro.
No, he's good. He's happy now. I'm saying he's golden. He's
saying
a word
Matt
ever.
Stafford gonna get complacent because he won.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He gonna chill. There you got Russell Westbrook in the AFC. Tom Brady done retired. Garoppolo is not consistent enough to say you're gonna do it 2 years in a row. I mean, he's right where he wants to be. Of course, he's gonna give me the money now. I don't care. I got nobody to be fear of. He feared Tom. He worried about Russell on a good year. The Rams in general were scary. So I mean, like, who is he there to fear? Who in the NFC puts fear in the Packers at all? A smidget. I'll wait.
Cowboys.
Okay. That's it. And with their playoff luck, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to take their playoff luck against the Cowboys. No offense to you, bro, but in his mindset, he's like,
he kill us every time.
That's all I got to worry about.
He kill us every time.
I ain't worried.
He kill us every time.
That's the way he's looking at it. That's the way he's looking at it.
He beat us in 38 seconds.
They were losing the playoffs.
38 seconds. He beat the Cowboys.
So I think he's fearless right now. So I think he's fearless, bro. He about to go off. He went from the worst situation to his best situation.
Man.
Yeah, other than the Cowboys, there's nobody else.
I had the Packers making the Super Bowl last year, man, and they fell short on some last day. They was really crunk, like on some last dance-ish. Like, we finna go win the Super Bowl and leave. Both of you niggas staying. Like, what? Like, okay. Hey, y'all did win the Super Bowl. It wasn't the last dance. Y'all dancing again, actually, is what y'all doing.
But I tell you what, though, if he does win this year,
last call.
But I tell you what, if Aaron Rodgers and the Packers do win this next year, he's honestly gonna have that back of his head that he did not win the way he wanted to win. He did not beat Tom Brady. He did not beat these other elite quarterback or at least teams going into it. he beat the rest. I mean, he had to worry about the AFC, of course, but the NFC is watered down right now, other than the Cowboys, respectively.
I don't think A-Rod really care about it much up now that he even got his money. I think he cool. I think
It's sweeter, bro.
Devontae Stan, I think he can care less whether he won another Super Bowl, but I could be wrong.
He might gonna snatch him up one real quick. He gonna snatch him up one and then retire. You can timestamp that. He gonna snatch him up one this year and retire.
Prediction?
I'm calling. Hey, unless anything dramatic happens in the NFC, super dramatic, he got it. It's locked. And I went from last year saying, Aaron Rodgers, he may not make the playoffs to Super Bowl. So I'm just based on my information.
Long as Devontae, he got a chance.
Yeah, he been having a chance past couple of years. But yeah, man. Westbrook is a top 75 player.
He is?
Yeah.
He was out there?
No, he didn't show up, but he was named a 75 player. It was a couple of them didn't show up at the celebration during the All-Star game.
Okay. I'm about to say it.
Yeah. But beautiful people, that is what we call a great episode, man. Thank y'all dearly for rocking with us, listening to us. Please stay in the comments and go write a review on Apple Podcasts so we can get like the ratings and we can get in some more people's like feed and recommendations and more people can hear us. I'm not sure if you can also do reviews on Spotify, but if you can, make sure you do it on there as well. Make sure you stay on our YouTube comments. The NBA playoffs is fastly approaching, and then at this point, our brother Sean Hart Izzo, he done rubbed off on us, so we all into sports betting a little bit now. So we're gonna be talking about that. And the bet that segment is gonna come up, and we're probably gonna have a couple of bet that episodes. So man, yeah, man, thank y'all dearly for rocking with us, man. We don't take it for granted. This is probably episode 64, 65, man, and so we just getting better with time. And we just staying consistent, man. We love y'all. We will see you beautiful people next week.